just remember. Hey guys, back we are. Another one. So, the second lot of break-even project, we've decided to go some AFL in this one. So, we've got Skip here. I will flash the Seahawks Instagram up on the page somewhere. Haven't decided where. Big Seahawks collector, AFL collector, and I thought probably the best person to have with us while we're actually going to break some AFL products. So, we've got Seamless. Not one, but two boxes we're going to have a crack of. And look, let's be honest, that first episode, dismal. I'm very glad it wasn't a $1,000 box, but pretty much a 110, 120 straight loss on that. So we're going to see if we can redeem ourselves with some Seamless. So comparable product-wise, what would we sort of say would be like an NFL equal?
Probably Immaculate.
Immaculate, yeah. And I mean, it's a great looking product, probably one of the best looking product that Select has made, but also one of the most expensive as far as that goes as well. So we're looking at about $850-ish was the retail. I know that's climbing now that they're all secondary market boxes. I see some even going for that $1,100-1,200 range, but we're going to see if we can redeem it. They were purchased at the original price, so we'll pop that up as an $850 in hand. Two boxes. Nothing else to say. Let's see what we can get. So, pretty packaging. It's always a good start for an expensive box. All right. Let's give it a shot. So, 4GE break even. Project episode 2. Let's see what we've got. All right, so very, very presentable packaging. Got our main box, and then we've got our secondary cards, which are, my God, they are in there. There we go. All right. So we'll ditch that off and that off. And so we should do the box first, Skip, from what you've seen, or?
Yes, definitely. Definitely do the one-touch ones first.
One-touch ones first,
That'll
right.
be your base cards.
Then I am very glad that I asked. We will save those. I might just... Perfect. So, yeah, look, I mean, the Immaculate vibe is definitely there. It's probably one of those products that Select have been hanging to make something with a bit more value to it, haven't they? So, all right. We'll kick straight into it. We'll go shot for shot.
Go
Yep.
to one touches.
One touches first, and I'll do the first one. You can pop the second. So, first up, the power. So, we've got a Mead out of 95. You can go the second if you like, mate.
And our second card is the Hawks, 17 of 95, Will Day.
Slightly better than the power, I guess. All right, let's go. Number 3. Blake Acres. So that one is out of 95 for Carlton.
And our fourth card is Jager O'Meara, 55 of 95 for the Freo Dockers.
And this will be our last base.
Should be the black.
Should be the black. All right. All right, let's have a look. It is the black, 24 of 40. Nathan Broad for Richmond. Oh, I suppose we can semi-stack those again, can't we? That there. All right. So that means it's your shot with the first one from the hit pack.
Okay, so the first card is...
There's a decoy on the bottom, is there? Oh, yeah. Little foam pad.
The Giants. Aaron Cadman, 3 of 95.
Pretty plain patches. I see some of the patches come out have little auto strikes in them.
They do.
Little partial autos, yeah.
Yeah, because they're all game worn.
Okay.
Just directly from clubs.
Ah, okay, that explains it. All right, so second card, it is going to be an auto, 10 of 70. Signature Redemption, Riley Rice for the D's. 10 of 70. Let's use these again to do it. We'll do our
And the
packaging
next
later.
card is a rookie card of sort. And we have
Dual patch, is it?
dual patch Harley Langford, Xavier Lindsay for the Melbourne Demons. Nice card.
60. Not bad. All right, where are we next? Let's have a look. Some filthy patches. That's what we want to see. Oh, And we got our wish. So, Libba, 23 of 95 for the Dogs. Some action-packed patches on that one. You're up.
And our next card.
On that way.
Of course, we'll get it around the wrong way. Kay Chandler for the Melbourne Demons. 17 of 65.
AFL.
A nice
logo
AFL
auto. So that makes this our last. Our last and final. Where are we going to be? Well, upside down, maybe. 74 of 95. Shannon Neal. Bit of a boring dual patch, but I suppose you get that in some of them. All right, so second box time. What was that first box? Decent, not great, not
Average.
Average, okay. But so you've probably seen a few broken. I know I've seen a few, but AFL's certainly not my strong suit as far as that goes. But really, we want a booklet card of some description. That's where the mojo seems to be at as far as value goes. All right, so ditch that. And I'll try and fondle away with these. Oh, they're not the easiest to get out. I suppose if you want to keep them in pristine condition, it's probably a good move by Select. All right.
Interesting choice by Select to one-touch all the base cards and not the hits. But
I did wonder that because I sort of was looking at this why I straight away assumed, oh, we obviously opened the box first, but clearly not.
So let's start with.
Yep, good to go.
So the first one is the Western Bulldogs, Joel Frazier, 72 of 95.
Now, I guess a bit more than the NFL fans, the AFL fans love the 01s. That's like the go-to, because originally Select never put them into product, did they?
They didn't.
They didn't. So, okay. So the 01s also have the little surge, because I see a lot of the posts that go up for the sales as the 01s being kind of where the money's at to a certain extent. So, all right, so we've got Harry Perryman, that one out of 95, 47 of 95. Your go.
Our next card is Callum Mills, 24 of 95 for the Sydney Swans.
I mean, they do look like immaculate. Honestly, the base cards, they do 100% and thick stock too. Like, I mean, that's a bit over the top, just as an FYI Select. Don't one-touch the base cards. Don't make them, 2 zillion point. All right, next up, 01. There we go. So, Sam Banks, 01 of 95. Decent? Yeah. There we
Definitely.
go. So we did get our 01. I had a feeling. I had my CT scanner on.
And our black.
Our black, what do we got?
Paddy Cripps, 11 of 40.
Oh,
that's very nice.
That's a good one. That's a saving grace for those base cards. There we go. Nice one. All right. You kick on into it.
We have...
Oh, is there a booklet?
There is a booklet.
Ooh,
So
we'll leave that. We'll leave that then. We'll leave that. Nice. All right. Well, we are going to see a booklet after all that. Second box, but I'll take it. I'll take it. So first up, 9/95 Jamie Elliott. And that's what we're talking about the signed jersey. So it's got a bit of that pen swipe in there. Not enough to call it an auto card. But 9/95 Jamie Elliott.
The second one is Alex Dodson, 14 of 70, auto, redemption.
And the redemption's
nice.
filling already? Like, are they...
I believe so.
Okay. So they've got the cards. Maybe they just didn't have them at time of packaging. Maybe that makes sense a bit more. Yep, okay. Oh, booklet just wants to pop. There we go. That's better. All right, next up. I reckon we've got it sideways. We do. 59 of 65, Darcy Cameron. AFL logo autos. Nice one.
And our next card, second to last card, 38 of 95, Toby Nankervis.
Bit of a filthy patch on the top.
Yeah, nice patch again.
All right, so you know what? You can do the booklet on us. You are the guest.
And the lucky last booklet.
The guest can do the booklet. We'll make that the new rule. What do we got?
For the Sydney Swans, Seamless Pod Patch, Joel Armati, Tom Papley, Tom McCartan, Isaac Heaney, James Robot, and Chad Warner.
6.
6.
Oh, nice. 31 of 35.
And that's a very nice finish to the box.
There we go. All right, so dabbling to AFL, second box, obviously better. Yes, okay. All right, so look, we redeemed ourselves with the second box. I'll most certainly cut out and we will go and do the 130-point comps afterwards. Give us a bit of an idea on what that price was. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to what was hopefully a bit of a redemption episode after that first one. Obviously, start of episode 3, I'll let you know whether we are in front or we are still firmly behind. But otherwise, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Have a great day. So, we are all done. Well, as far as the opening for break number 2 goes, well, I should say bus number 2, I guess. Now, I do need to go through some comps. Let's be honest, it's not going to be worse than the first episode was. That first episode was disgusting. We ended up minus 110 to start off in episode 2, which means we did need to gain some ground, and that's why I thought 2 boxes are seamless. Maybe that's the best way forward. And look, it was. Now, obviously, using 130 point, as always, some of the Australian cards, especially AFL, I do find a little bit more difficult to find on 130 point. But look, majority of it was up there. And really, at the moment, it is an example for you. I haven't gone and comped every card live, but I have comped every card. So down on my bottom screen, I can see my total amounts. Now, to give you a bit of an idea, my search terms, as you can see along there, they were pretty simple. I kept it pretty simple. Again, a lot of Aussies, I guess, don't use eBay as well. I can see that number is increasing, but it just means it's not like the US NFL cards or NBA cards where they just get swamped after release and you've got to be quite precise. All of those general terms got me pretty accurate comps as far as that goes. Now, as we can see, they are still in sort of going through the AUD. There were some outliers. Again, because we received so many cards, I think the base cards are averaged out at about $20 a pop. We did have an 01 that featured in there. That's going to be a little bit higher. I think I put that around the 50, 60 mark. A lot of this is coming off a Facebook marketplace as well. Most of the Aussies do jump on the Facebook groups to sell their cards. But yes, as you can see, we did get some outliers there. Darcy Cameron auto as well. Nice little money spinner on top of that. Where else did we go? So we've done the Jamie. Yep, Riley Bias. So again, we can see there a few sales sort of pumping through. And again, they will just get more and more as we go on. The Langford-Lindsay duel, that one was a bit of a surprise to me. Didn't see those, I guess, patch cards like we have, where it had the 2 colours on there. Otherwise, some of the black base also net a bit. Cripps, given the player, given the scarcity of it, I think that card's only going to go up in value as all of the Carlton collectors buy it. The ones that want it, I mean, that number gets sort of meets a little bit closer and we start to get those spikes. The only one that I really couldn't find a direct comp for on 130 point for some reason was the Sydney multi-patch booklet. So again, I just reverted to eBay. Pretty simple. Again, pretty generic search terms and just changing that to sold so that we can obviously get a bit of information on what the card actually sold for rather than what it's listed for, because my general rule is if it's listed on there, it's listed too high if it hasn't sold. So there we go. Otherwise, that was basically done. It was a pretty decent break, I guess, as far as that second lot of product goes. Now, we get down to the nitty gritty of it. And I guess we start with the best points. We are back in front. So, obviously kicking off with that 110 loss, it wasn't the best roll. Decided to go 2 boxes of seamless, slightly larger investment, but I guess a better chance of return, given that most of the boxes I see do at least flip that cost price level. Now, what we ended up doing, rounding up the cost a little bit, I sort of took them to be about 1,900 both boxes in hand. It was probably a little bit less than that, but when I take into account suppliers, 180 points, all those sort of things, probably about 1,900 is where we sat. Now, according to all the comps, according to everything else, 23.50 was about what I bought in from those 2 seamless boxes. look, it does mean that I do need to sell those for around what the comps are. I'm hopeful that some of those will actually increase in comps. Right now, I guess, is the most heading to market. Everyone's getting their cards and breaks in their own boxes. I'm hoping that'll dry up a little bit, especially in time for the card show, which is where most of these will be up for. Most certainly, if you do want to get your hands on any, feel free to send me a message. Always happy to work out a deal. But it left us with about $450 profit. So taking into account that first loss of $110, we sit at about $340. So yes, we've opened 3 boxes, 2 episodes, but about $340 is our buffer. Now, taking into account that I do need to sell them, it's probably a little bit closer to break even than that. But $350 is about the dollar and cents when it comes down to the comps and exactly what's there. So hopefully that's a good sign of what's to come. Now, next episode, it is going to be something very different. We're going to go from the double box seamless to a single box repack from one of the largest US repack suppliers. So we're going to give that a shot. It's going to be pretty cutthroat. It's going to be a single card. Hopefully we continue on our run, but otherwise, guys, stay tuned for the next episode.